Okay, today we're going to talk a little bit about protectionism, or what I like to call protectionism, which is a desire by man to be shielded, that is to say, to shield their accumulated wealth, assets, property, be protected in their professions, and secure financially. And as a result, there's a creation of laws to protect and to shield those that have accumulated those assets. And this is human nature, to want to be secure. But specifically, when I talk about protectionism, it's about more than the desire, and it's about more than individually seeking out ways to achieve that end. It's specifically the creation of laws to arrive at that end, whether it be entry into professions, education system, taxes, regulations, whether that be property taxes, estate taxes, sales tax, whatever it is that makes it more difficult for individuals to reach a point where they can compete and make a living in a position for themselves. Those are laws created by those that, or in effect created by those that have a position, a strong position in society, financial security, and that's where the desire for the laws come from. And if you look at human nature more broadly and break it down to between male nature and female nature, specifically looking at female nature, women have a nesting nature. They need to, or desire, have an inherent desire to protect and to shield their children, themselves and their children, from a growing set of obstacles. And those obstacles are growing each successive generation out, which is to say that it's taking longer and longer for their children to enter into professions, to make a living, and thereby to survive. As a result, women require a growing amount of money over longer periods of time in order to realize that objective. And where do they get those money and resources? Well, they get it from men. Even when they get it from the government, they're getting it from men, or whether they get it directly or not. They're getting it from adult men, who in turn desire to be shielded, because now there's a growing pressure on them to make even more and more and more money over longer periods of time. So now there's a desire to be shielded from competition, in effect, so that they can maintain their way of life, their land, the people in their lives, to have a wife, land, and a profession, and thereby means to continue to make money. Hence, protectionism grows. And what came first? That's a question mark. But one thing is for certain: everyone is to blame, and there's plenty of blame to go around. What is needed now is a recognition of what the cause of that evil is, and to acknowledge our true nature, human nature, both male nature and female nature. We have fallen into chasing down false evils, feminists believing that men are evil and that man's nature is evil, while women's nature is divine. Women's nature is destroying civilization, not because it's evil, but because of the escalating nature of protectionism, combined with gynocentric laws that have made man's nature the enemy, and are destroying the means for life to exist. a return to the primitive order of things is in turn where only a handful of alpha males are able to procreate. Female nature is concerned about survival of themselves and their children, whereas male nature is concerned about their own survival, but also how they survive and how they live. Living without freedom, with freedom, is necessary. To exist, to simply exist, is not good enough. Whereas for women, survival is at the peak, and they will compromise on those other things. That is why there needs to be balance between male and female nature. Human nature is both male and female. Together we hold the key to survival, but only together. And society has been split apart in every way that it can possibly be. Been turned against each other and broken into groups and categories, man versus woman, different races, different professions, and different lobbying groups, and in every way possible we've been broken up and turned against one another, and that's the real enemy and the real evil. When we lose honor and forsake one another, we lose respect for our own rights and freedoms, and the same rights and freedoms of everyone else. And that's the real evil.